Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are tuning in from. I hope you're having a brilliant day. Welcome to XTC, the Polyhedra Show. I'm joined today by, of course, TC. How you going, man?
Good. Yeah,
Hell,
I'm
hell
very
yeah.
good.
Always good to see you, and always good to have you on the show, man. So a little bit of an introduction. This week in AI, another huge week. California moved on chatbot safeguards. A kind of surprise veto there. OpenAI loosens adult content rules. Very interesting. Anthropics, Dario, he reveals that some startling agent behaviors. Also, had some interesting things to say about AI and how we're feeding this creature. It's no longer a tool, according to Dario. Google ships a new computer use model. India doubled down on AI and chips, and AMD stacks more GPU wins after that OpenAI mega deal that's going on, which we talked about last time. So the theme of this show with TC here is going to be transparency, power, and proof, because in this new era of AI agents, verifiability obviously isn't optional. So yeah, let's jump straight into it if you're ready, TC.
Sure, let's go.
Hell yeah, let's do it. All right, so big story number one. The California's chatbot and kids moment collides with OpenAI's adult content pivot. This is a really interesting one. OpenAI is saying it'll allow adult content for verified users with age gating in December. This is all kind of spurred off. If you guys aren't caught up on this topic, there was a Florida teen. It kind of ended in a tragic situation. And it brought into the conversation chatbots, having emotional dependencies. There was a veto by Gavin Newsom in California, which said all chatbots might be mistaken for humans, so they need to self-disclose, and we need to add guardrails for minors by 2026. And there's a little bit of PR irony going on there, where California is pitching, protect kids, and OpenAI says verified adults welcome. And that kind of verification relies on, self-attested ID, credit card checks, these things, which is, laughably easy to spoof these days with AI. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But TC, man, let's talk about this grind here of policy meets product. What proof do you think platforms should provide, whether it's age verification, content filters, incident responses, red team kind of logs? What do you see as being the most important, and what are we working on, man?
Well, at least I think age verification is the most important one and most widely used one. But in my mind, the end game should be rule-based, or it should not be. I mean, it should not be rule-based. It should be intelligently decided by AI itself. But let's talk about reality first. So age verification and something ID related. So we should make this kind of verification. We should make this kind of things like private. Like we don't want to leak our own other informations, like the name or address or whatever. So that's at least that's minimal requirement for this kind of proof, because AI, they collect data, they will use it if you provide such kind of thing to them. Well, and what our thing can do is, at this with storage proofs, we can provide such proofs where you only attest your age, or you only attest whatever property you want to the AI provider, to the AI itself. Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I agree. And it seems like, you know, in terms of this, everything going on, it's almost like the regulators are building ladders, right? And, being like, and then the builders just make taller walls almost, it's like, it's not, I think it's proof, not policy, that prevents collapse.
Yeah.
And,
No, proof plus
that's
policy.
proof. Yeah, absolutely. I think they go hand in hand. You're absolutely right. But you can't have one
Yeah.
without the other, right?
So basically, policy determines what proof is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if the policy is okay, I require you to have to have only adult user, then
Mm-hmm.
the proof is just proving the age.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I know that we've
So
spoken about this a lot, and it's like it's good. It's good for us because, and it's good for I think it's good for society to have these, to have politicians making these kinds of decisions where, like, hey, we need some kind of regulation, we need some kind of verifiability that is going to protect people. And like, this seems like a very, like, I think in the big scope of things, this is a small step, right? But it's a huge, huge point. When we look at verifiability across the board, it's obviously like the most important cornerstone is being able to verify age, and like, that's always been a very important one. That leaks into provenance and a bunch of other stuff that obviously we're working on, but this is like a really important one. That, them saying like, oh, give us your credit score and give us your photo of your passport. I mean, TC, man, like, like living in Indonesia, I've like, there's probably 1,000 people that have a photo of my passport every time I stay in a hotel. Like, so like,
yeah.
that doesn't really cut it for me. Also, like, you and I, like, we're very public, so people have a lot of, like, us talking. It's quite easy now to use AI to spoof that. Also, like, I don't know if you heard about this, man, but like, Qantas got hacked, which is like a huge airline in Australia, an Australian airline.
I see.
Yeah, and I've traveled with them in the last year, and they released a whole bunch of public data. Like, that's like addresses, it's passports, it's like, it's your travel documentation. So it's like, wow, okay, like, I've given this to an intermediary that I thought was safe, like an airline, and now all my data is leaked. So it's quite scary. Yeah,
It's quite,
it's quite scary. Yeah, and that's why I think this is a really, really important discussion, and really important that it is good to see policymakers making these decisions, and obviously it plays right into what you've been saying, and the team's been saying for a long time, that this is going to happen. We don't want there to be a crisis like Qantas. We don't want to see this happen, but we would rather, like, people implement it earlier. But we're going to be ready when all the sticks fall. We're going to be ready with the technology. So yeah, it's really, really cool, man. But let's move on. I've got a lot to move through. So the next topic, the legal drama, Elon versus OpenAI. This is always a fun one. So OpenAI is blanketing non-profits with subpoenas tied to its counter suit against Elon. So there's obviously a lot going on there. OpenAI subpoenaed non-profits almost like it's on a fishing trip for a moral high ground. But yeah, so what's your thoughts on that, man? Do you think this is a discovery push? Is it PR pressure? Do you have an opinion on this?
Well, I think it's just a PR pressure where, well, they internally they do have conflicts, and
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to settle anytime soon. So it's just a
Yeah.
step. It's just a step moving forward. Maybe they're going to have this war for 10 years or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, until the singularity is hit, they're gonna keep
yeah.
warring. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which side I'm on. I've always been Camp Elon, but I think that yeah, it's interesting to watch all of this. A rollout. I mean, it's quite entertaining. Like almost at this point, Elon's lawsuit is less about like you've just said, it's less about the contract and more about the court of public opinion. You know, so yeah,
Well,
it's
I think well, personally like Elon's move. If
mhm.
their Starship got very well, I would probably go to another planet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm right there with you, man. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. If it's like even if it's like a 5 year round trip, getting to put boots on Mars would be pretty incredible. And I agree. I listened to a podcast
Well, it's less than one
this
year.
yeah. It was with an AI. I think his name was Roman. It escapes me at the moment, but like talking about how some people want to go to Mars and some people want to control the universe. It's like talking about AI safety and everything that OpenAI is doing, and it's kind of like this whole horse and cart thing where it's like, oh, when we come to security issues or issues with verifiability, the AI will solve it for us. And it's
Yeah.
kind of it's a very weird argument to make, right? Because it's like, hey, why don't we make things safe first, and then which is what like Dario, Anthropic Dario Amodi is talking about. He's saying, we need to put some guardrails in place, and we don't really know what's going on. And he's right. So some of his comments this week were very interesting. But it's exactly what you've been saying. I mean, it's what Jiahong's been saying. It's what we've been working on. So it's great to see some push behind that, both on the policy side and on the technological side, where people are starting to kind of wake up a little bit to what's going on. Again, I digress, man. So with all this legal drama, I mean, I guess we don't really need to talk about timelines and practice or settlement signals. I think like you've just wrapped it up there. We're gonna wait and see what happens. It's going to be a 10-year probably ongoing thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Next topic, man. Models and agents. So Google's computer use drops. Anthropic Sonnet 4.5, and yeah, I mean obviously Emodi's revelations. So Google released the Gemini 2.5 computer use model, stronger web and mobile control at a lower latency. So what do you see, tasks that teams should test this week? Give us a little bit of your thoughts about this.
Well, last year, I mean, Anthropic released the computer use model where I tried it a little bit, write a small script to control my browser. And they can order food for me. I mean, at this that's I think that's a hello world task for every single computer use model where just order some food for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's very important. Well, if computer use models goes very strong, I mean, we need our stuff more because computer use is can touch very sensitive stuff like easily on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
So every single move, every single critical move need to be verified. For example, I explicitly instruct my toy agent, my agent to stop operating when it sees the payment button.
Right.
So for example, I will tell them to stop stop doing any operation when when it finishes my food or food delivery. I mean, when it
Mm-hmm.
finish ordering my food and it goes to the payment page, I will stop then. Okay. I don't want. Actually, they handle the payment. And
Yeah.
one more step is, I kind of allow them to handle my payment, but my payment has a two-factor, so I will never ever accidentally pay for a large amount of money.
Hmm.
That's another option. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
That's some good insight, man.
yeah, but that's still very manual. Where if you want to handle every single critical API or critical stuff, that's where that takes a lot of time. So yeah, why not just force them to give proofs, and you have a trackable auditor log for all of these operations, and if anything is wrong, you can just tell the model company, well, your agent makes some mistakes, and here is a
Mm.
proof, and they will. Well, I think in the ideal world, there will be some regulations forcing them to pay for the mistake.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you've made the point before as well about, self-driving cars, and if you like imagine a self. I mean, I remember you telling me this. It actually
Yeah.
when we're in China, and you're like, well, imagine a self-driving car, and then you have an accident, and there's no like audible log where you don't know if you've made the mistake, they've made the mistake. Maybe someone takes control. It's a really good point. It's like, well, like that, and that's taking it kind of to the extreme. I'm sure there's more extreme things that you've thought about, but
Or
I can only imagine, But it's a really good point that like you need auditability. Even like I heard this story about. I think we've spoken about this too, but just to share with everybody about how like someone had used an AI agent and was trying to order some tools, I think it was, and ended up getting like a PDF from Shopee or something. So the agent and it was like, hey, find me the cheapest set of tools or something, and it went to automatic transaction and ended up having like it got sent like a picture of the tools or something, because he didn't have two-factor on and was just trying to test it. But yeah, it's a really good point. I remember before even any of these agents, I was playing with one. Like I've got a separate laptop that I
Mhm.
use to play with all these tools, and it doesn't have any of my information on it. So I'm like, I don't trust this stuff. But I was using one of these very early agents, man, and like it took control of my desktop, and I was like, hold up, like it was awesome to see, but it was also scary because I'm like, this is a third party developer. I don't know anything about these people. They probably downloaded my hard drive by now. And
Mm.
there's a lot of people that might be susceptible to this kind of thing, or who would test it on their own laptop. You know, so like having signals in there and safety, like there's not as many people that people get scammed all the time, right?
Mhm.
So it's like having those guardrails in place that are going to protect people, like you said as well, like with HTTPS, right? Like
Yeah.
like people shouldn't even know that they're being protected. They should just be protected, and it should
Yeah.
be mandated. Yeah, totally, man. Anyway, I'm just repeating stuff that you've told me, but I think it's good and it's
Good.
relevant.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. What else have we got here? Oh, I've lost a little bit of the.
Well, you can go ahead with. So we're still talking about computers, right?
Yeah. Uh, I had some more notes here. I mean, I wanted to talk about. I mean, what are your thoughts on? I'd like to know about like Dario's comments. What exactly did he say about like that we're feeding essentially like we're feeding a creature and it's no longer a tool? You know,
It
I think
is.
that's a yeah.
It is a new creature. I think. I already treat them as artificial human. It's not longer a
Yeah.
tool.
Would you compare it more to an artificial human or like an alien?
Not so different, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. For example, I will store my conversation so I will store all of my conversations because conversation history is basically the AI itself, including the system prompt. If I think that AI is interesting, I will store it. I will note it back when I really want to talk to that specific AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, got you, man. So what about this the Gemini 2.5 Flash and the Flashlight updates? I think that they've added new tools, formatting upgrades, these kinds of things. Do you think it closes the like fast agent gap? What do you think? Like, what are your opinions on that?
I think it's just a regular update.
Regular update? Yeah. It's
But
nothing
computer
groundbreaking.
use is very interesting. It's groundbreaking for Gemini.
Yeah. And obviously we've had some big updates in, that we've pushed out on X the last couple of weeks. Some very, very cool stuff going on. I know that the community, shout out to the community. I've been doing actually daily shows with them. If anyone wants to jump on, we're always welcoming new people, and we've had some awesome I just want to give them a bit of a shout out mid conversation here, because I had some really awesome feedback and ideas that I was like, I'm not going to mention them, but maybe we can get them on a show at some point, TC. But
That's good.
Yeah. But like some really, really great ideas, and everyone really barracking for each other, and with our egg platform, we just had like the eggies, seen some very creative outputs there that we're super excited about, and some great feedback from the team. Obviously this is something we're building like in public, so it's been a cool, don't you think that's been such a cool experience? Yeah, man. It's been cool. Like getting like the feedback from the community and doing everything live has been pretty awesome. All right, let's move on, my man. Let's look at these questions. Let me look at my notes here. I did have some stuff on obviously like Italy's AI law, and India's AI stuff, but maybe we can talk a little.
Yeah, I think we've covered this last time, right?
Oh yeah, we did. Okay, yeah, and I mean, obviously the OpenAI, AMD, what is it, Broadcom, Oracle deal. We talked about that last week as well. But it's interesting. Hey, like it's almost like a round robin of investment. But and I've heard people say that. What's your opinion on this? Like, people are saying that forget data being the new oil, GPUs are the new like land rights. Like, what's your opinion on that, man?
I think in my mind, still data is more important. And algorithm, I should emphasize that the algorithm, the innovation behind it, is way more important than anything. I mean, before everything happens after that groundbreaking paper. So I think the algorithm itself people usually undervalued. We should say, yeah. We should emphasize that algorithm is way more important than hardware than data itself, but data is second one, I think.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense, man. I was actually having a conversation with a friend earlier today about like that same thing, and it was like compared. Okay, I saw an example. Like, someone gave the example of, imagine in a day if you went from the iPhone 1 to the iPhone 17. Kind of same amount of at the time, same amount of energy usage. Obviously more GPU, but it's really like the code and the algorithm behind it that made it so advanced, right? I mean, it's the same as like, look at how much power it and this amount of space it took to like send a rocket to the moon, you know. Whereas now, I think they say the same amount of like, it's almost like the phone in your pocket could outdo this, right? Yeah. And so that's like, that comes down to, you know, the algorithm and the data, right? More so than
that's more about hardware. Actually,
hardware.
that's more hardware.
Yeah.
That's more about physics.
Physics, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think this is just a personal question from me, but because I've been watching this a lot about, you know, Sam Altman said to oh goodness, I've forgotten his name, but like he's considered the godfather of AI. Escapes me at the moment, but he said, like, would you believe in super intelligence, and if you know, say GPT-7 was able to discover new physics? It's pretty crazy claim that he's making, but don't you think that if a model could do that, discover new physics, then it's obviously smarter than the best human, you know, probably, you know, by orders of magnitude. You know, isn't that kind of scary to let that kind of, you know, unless it's boxed into like you know, and we can, it's just stuck in this vertical. Yeah, we can't box it in, right?
If it's so much more intelligent than human, you cannot box it.
Yeah,
not possible.
Exactly, man. I've been having this conversation with so many people, and it's look, it's exciting, but it's also absolutely terrifying, man. It is terrifying. It's like, we, like, you know, I agree with you know, Dario, you know, like it's like we're creating this new intelligence, which we are, and it's like, you know, we need to, it's almost like a child, like you need to give a child like direction and say, hey, look, these are the rules. But you know, and it's like a legal system. These are the rules that you have to stay inside. If you create a whole new intelligence without giving it any guardrails, it's kind of terrifying, and it's why I'm so inspired to do the work that, I mean, you know, to be on the team and to help, you know, the work that you guys are really like spearheading. And it's, you know, I mean, just to wrap up this chat, I know that that we need to keep it kind of at least a little bit brief, but you know, to wrap up what we've talked about, to see, you know, like there being like political decisions that are moving in the right direction. That's great. It's inspiring to see all of the, you know, the progress that you guys are making, and the milestones that you're hitting is great. I just hope that honestly we can get there before it becomes too crazy, right?
That's good.
Don't you think?
Can just, well, you can push you can push biology PhDs or push them to use more advanced AI to improve the intelligence of human.
Yeah, true, man. That's not a bad idea. You know, I mean, like we all become cyborgs, right? Or have some like
Oh, let's just go back to real reality. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about it offline, though. We're just like, it'd be great to be able to do a round trip to Mars, right? That would be cool. If AI can help us get there, all for it. But I think just general day to day and everything that society is going to experience, especially people who aren't technically super literate or anything, I think it's really, really important that everything that we're doing. But hey, man, I think we can probably wrap it up there. I know that you've got stuff to get to, and we're going to keep it at half an hour, if that's cool. But we're going to be back next week, man.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Thank you, TC. All right. Thank you for taking the time, man. Yeah, and thanks to the community as well. I know that they've got a bunch of, like, they contributed to this conversation, and you know, we'll be, obviously I'm there. I'm chatting to all of you legends pretty much every day, and we're going to get TC as well on Discord. But we hope that you enjoyed this. We'll get him on again, but we hope that you enjoyed this show, and thank you so much for taking the time today, TC.
Sure.
Awesome, man.
Thank
All
you
right.
so
Have a
much.
great day out there.
Yeah. See you.
See you, man.